So I've had the Steam Deck for just over a week now, and these are my thoughts following my week with the Steam Deck, and I am absolutely I adore this thing. This thing is amazing. It's like the console that I'm using the most, and it being a mini PC is just kind of a bonus because I do have a gaming PC that I spend a lot more time on in terms of like PC stuff, right? But it does have some great little pros to it when it comes to being a mini PC as well. So what do I think of the Steam Deck overall? The UI for me is really nice. I like how when you load up the Steam Deck, the games are all just there. They're there for you to choose, and if you've got them already installed, they're just there. It's just great. Like Steam, you obviously have to go to your library, and you have the left-hand column where your games are, and just feels like the Steam Deck has a more kind of console approach as to loading up your games and getting to what game you want to play to quickly and efficiently, which is really nice. The controls just are great. Now, I'd say there is one big criticism, and that is the battery life. But at the same time, if you're used to having the Switch and you're playing something like Skyrim or like one of these bigger open world games, then you'll find that the battery life isn't much different to the Steam Deck. Like, I find that my Switch dies quite quickly, especially as I have an OG model as well. In terms of comfort, I can sit all day playing this and my hands don't go kind of like achy, which I get with the Switch, the way that it's shaped around my hands. I've got quite big hands, so this just fits nicely. It's just so clicky. It's so nice to press all the buttons. Now in terms of games, obviously it's got one of the best launch lineups of any console, because you've got the entire Steam library, at least most of it anyway. There are some games that are playable that definitely aren't playable, and there's some games that are playable that should be verified. Like, I loaded up City Skylines earlier. I'm going to do a separate video on that, about City Skylines on the Steam Deck. I had to play around with some user-generated kind of layout, controller layout and inputs. It got a bit frustrating. The text on the screen's a little small for me for City Skylines, which is a little bit disappointing. Hopefully they could do something like optimize. Like, it'd be great if they could optimize the game for Steam Deck and get it verified, because it's one of those games I really enjoy. I enjoy having a chill game like that. So yeah, a little bit disappointing when you find games that you think would run that don't. There are games that should definitely run that don't run, which is really quite frustrating. But there are some surprising ones that do run, so it really is. You've got to play around with it. If there are games that have got the little question mark or the little unsupported icon, definitely worth just checking it out, checking out the community layout, controller inputs and everything like that, because there are community ones that you can use that people have made already. Like for Battlefront 2, the original Battlefront 2, I loaded that up, couldn't get it working, used the community controller layout, and it works perfectly, and I'm able to play the original Battlefront 2. And again, like a game like that, you can get hours and hours out of the Steam Deck's battery life. When you're playing something like Cyberpunk, that's when it drains it. In fact, I couldn't even get an hour out of Cyberpunk on the Steam Deck. And bear in mind, I was doing 60 frames per second. I was getting, I think I got around 40 minutes, which it's kind of understandable, right? You're running a PC game at like really high settings on this device, so I mean, it does what it can, and that's to be commended. I think is a great piece of kit. The pitfall for me is that there are a lot of Steam sales, and it's like that's eaten into the wallet a little bit. But it's cool to have that option of just always having Steam sales on. Like, you don't get that with Xbox or PlayStation all that much. You get the same games like being on sale, whereas Steam, you get a lot of smaller games, you get indie sales, you get all of this kind of stuff, which I find really fun. It's great to play some indie games. I've loaded up Overcooked 2 on there, which plays just fantastically on the Steam Deck. But really, I'm putting a lot more time still into Fallout New Vegas and Cyberpunk, and also Moonbreaker, which again I'll do another video on. It's a strategy tabletop style game where you can paint minifigs, and you can also battle and play a game with them. So I will be doing a video on that soon. The painting aspect doesn't really work on the Steam Deck, but the actual game does. So it's cool to jump from my desktop where I can paint the figures and then go over onto my Steam Deck if I want and play a few rounds. That's been quite nice to jump back and forth. And again, loading your save nice and quickly. There's no cloud save issues. That's been really helpful, and I'm just generally looking forward to future games coming to Steam that I'll be able to pick up and play on the Steam Deck. I've already cancelled my PlayStation pre-order for Hogwarts Legacy. I'm going to get that on Steam, so not only me and my wife can share it and play it, so she uses my Steam library on her PC, but I can load it up on the Steam Deck. That's going to be real good fun to have Hogwarts Legacy. Hopefully it's playable from launch. That's the only thing, is like we don't know if that's going to be playable on the Steam Deck. Just wait and see. Another one, Starfield. It comes with Game Pass. I'm probably going to buy it. I don't normally do that with games, even my favorite games, but with Starfield, I want to be able to play it on Steam Deck if I can. I think that'll be really, really fun. Looking at the release dates for next year, it's pretty insane of what games are coming out. So I'm looking forward to getting a fair few of these on Steam Deck and playing through them. So I did buy an unofficial dock as well, which is very simple. You can plug in obviously your HDMI, a USB-C, but you also got 3 USB ports, so you can plug in mouse and keyboard or a controller, or all 3, and play it on any display, which is really nice because I normally have it plugged in my big TV, and it's kind of nice to be able to play the games I have on Steam in the living room without carrying my Xbox through from my streaming room into my living room. Currently got my PS5 out there, just kind of collecting dust right now because of the Steam Deck, so yeah. But generally, had a great time with it this week, and here's to more fun with the Steam Deck. Guys, let me know if you picked one up. Let me know if you enjoyed this content and what you want to see here in the future on this channel, and I'll see you real soon with the next one. Happy gaming.